What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about some Norwegian news. Because as an American, I never hear about Norwegian news here in the United States from any of our news or media. So today, I want to take some time to learn about the current news and events happening in Norway right now that I otherwise never get to hear about. So let's take a look here, starting with Norway is set to phase in a tourist tax. You're creating a tax just for people who are visiting Norway? Really? A huge increase in the number of tourists arriving in Norway has finally prompted Norwegian Parliament to let local communities impose a new tourist tax. This is taking effect next summer. So is Norway getting more tourism than usual? This says there's been a huge increase in tourists in Norway. Has Norway gotten even more popular? And Norway, aren't you benefiting from that already? Just the increased tourism money? But on top of that, Norway has voted to allow local communities. Does that mean like different towns and cities throughout Norway? They can choose to impose a tourist tax. What is that a tax on? Like hotels? Food? What is a tourist tax? The goal is to force tourists to help pay for the public facilities that they need and reduce their footprint on nature. Oh, do tourists come to Norway and ruin the nature or something? Or oh, cruise ships. Are we talking about cruise ships? After months or years of political debate, Parliament settled on a 3% tax on cruise ship passengers and overnight lodging. Yes, we're talking about hotels and Airbnbs. Visitors arriving in camping vans, mobile homes, and boats will be exempted. But there won't be any fees if you're making a tent. So this is for people who travel to Norway and are not environmentally friendly? This is called a visitor's contribution. What? It can be imposed by governments in hard-hit areas by tourism, like the Lofoten archipelago. Wow. It's really for, we're talking about cruise ships. I forgot Norway has like a huge cruise ship industry. So that's a lot of tourists who sail to Norway. Tromsø has even felt overrun by tourists. Someone has to pay for public toilets. Oh my god, this almost makes it sound like a bad thing. That it almost makes tourists sound like a nuisance or a bad thing in Norway. Doesn't Norway gain a lot of money and stuff from tourism? Well, I guess you're about to gain even more. This might specifically be for parts of Norway that can't afford all of the tourism, like using up all the amenities and fighting against people coming in vans and using gas and stuff like that, I guess. That's very interesting. It almost sounds like Norway is discouraging tourism, but I'm sure people are still going to visit Norway. Like, Norway is probably, it's a very, very desirable place to visit. I understand that. So, Norway probably has nothing to worry about. Norway is finally bound for the World Cup. Oh, soccer, football. I haven't even followed the World Cup. I didn't even know that was going on. Norway's stunning 3-0 victory over Italy in a World Cup qualifier cleared Norway's way for a long-sought return to the football championship. Norway is in the World Cup. So I guess there's qualifying. The victory was played out on the home turf in Oslo. Both the king and prime minister were there. Oh my god. This is a big deal. Okay, I didn't realize this was such a big deal in Norway. If the king and the prime minister are there at the football match. Oh my god. Yeah, here in the United States, soccer is not very popular. We don't watch soccer. We don't know what's going on. But I know this is a very big deal, the World Cup. I understand that. The Norwegian national men's football team hasn't qualified since 2000? What? It's been 25 years since Norway got to the World Cup? Oh my god. Because you have Erling Brot, Haaland. I've heard of Haaland. Okay. So this is, I'm sure a lot of Norwegians are stoked about this. I'm sure this is huge news in Norway. As an American, I don't know if I can appreciate how big of news this is. It's very cool, though. I hope Norway wins. The whole thing. This article says historic homes have been hit by a fire in Lærdal, the Norwegian mountain community of Lærdal, known for historic wooden buildings, was hit by a fire. Oh, God. Firefighters managed to contain it and save some buildings. 2 were severely damaged. Oh, no. We're talking about 250-year-old homes made out of wood. These are historical Norwegian buildings. How did they catch on fire? How? This has been national news. Lærdal has experienced fire before. How did this happen? The fire started in a building containing a shop and spread to adjacent homes. It doesn't say what started it. What? How did this fire just randomly start? That's terrible. That's actually terrible. That's really sad to hear. New party's ads stirred up a storm? Like a political party? In Norway? They made advertisements. What? Norwegians riding public transportation on to the 17th of May. Oh, this was like a month ago. If you're riding public transport in the Oslo area, you got a bit of a shock. Metro cars were plastered with advertising calling for a halt for public support for Ukraine, prompting one top politician to equate the ads to Russian propaganda. The ad campaign was halted on Monday night after vandalism. What? This is a Norwegian political party. They put up ads all over Oslo against Ukraine. Oh my god. What are they? Is this it? I don't know what this is. Bruk pengen våre på velferd, ikke krig? I don't know what this means. Use our money on welfare, not war. Huh. I guess you could argue this is like pro-welfare rather than anti-Ukraine, but I know Norway is very, very, very supportive of Ukraine. This is not a popular take. The advertising objected to how Norwegian Parliament is spending 85 billion krone and saying they call for war. The ads call for peace talks and urge politicians to spend on social welfare. Geez, this is controversial, isn't it? The public reaction to this advertising was extremely negative. I think it's distasteful to say no for support to Ukraine. Yeah, that's what I would expect. So most Norwegians were pretty upset about this, right? Wow, so this totally backfired on that political party. People are even calling it Russian propaganda, which I understand if they're talking about defunding Ukraine. Huh. Some people say they had a right to free speech and the ad campaign shouldn't have been banned. So the ads were actually banned. Is that right? Wow. Wow, they hung these up in like the public transport. Wow. This was not a smart idea. That's got to be an extremely controversial thing to do in Norway. Because Norway has provided so much support for Ukraine for years. It's been really impressive. Wow. That's kind of crazy. Soars on security issues. We're talking about the Prime Minister of Norway, Jonas Gahr Støre, and his Labour Party have soared to new heights in a super poll. Oh, isn't Norway having an election this year? I think maybe September. Yeah, there's an upcoming national election, and the Labour Party, that's the current party, majority party, I think, um, have gone way up in the polls. So I guess people are happy with Norway's government. Their remarkable rise in political fortune is linked to the public attention on national security, foreign policy, and defense, which are viewed as Store's specialties. So, is this election like, does it sound like people kind of know who's going to win? Is Jonas Gahr Støre going to be reelected? It sounds like people like what he's doing with defense and international relations. I'm confident we can win, says Støre. Okay. He headed north to boost Norway's defense. Yeah, I know Norway has spent a lot of money and effort on bolstering its defense in the last year or two in anticipation of conflict with, especially in this day and age, in this time where everything is so unpredictable, like there's multiple wars breaking out all over the world. People like having Støre in power in Norway, it sounds like. Um, that's up from Labour's election result in 2021. Labour is up to 29.4%. If the election was held right now, does that mean Labour would win if it was held right now? They're doing even better than 2021. Labour is 9 points ahead of Norway's next largest party, the Conservative Progress Party. So it sounds like they are really ahead right now. There's a couple months to go, but looks like Labour could be reelected by the sound of it. Very interesting. Norway's high food prices spark debate, but it's not high tariffs on imports? What? Norway's high food prices are higher than ever. Oh, God. And that's led to another round of political debate. Food price comes up prior to national elections, but not much changes. It's because of Norway's own high tariffs on food imports. Really? Norway has tariffs? I didn't even know that. Yeah, I just think of Donald Trump's tariffs, the stupid tariffs. Norway has its own tariffs on food imports? I didn't know that. Is that why food is so expensive in Norway? The main reason high prices don't go away. They include high tariffs on food imports to protect Norwegian farmers. The high production costs of meat, poultry, dairy, fruit, and vegetables that Norwegian farmers pass on to buyers. Okay. So it sounds like this is debated. Food prices has been going up too much in ways we haven't seen before. So food has always been expensive in Norway. There's always been these tariffs and stuff, but food has gotten too expensive in Norway. We have asked why the price growth is as high as it is. We're continuing to work to make competition function. So this is a big problem in Norway. Food is too expensive, but you need farmers in Norway to make enough money to be able to continue farming. Oh gosh, this sounds very difficult. Norwegian farmers received support packages from the government. Wow. Wow. So the Norwegian government does a lot for Norwegian farmers, but Norwegian people have to pay these crazy high food prices. I have no idea. I don't know what the answer is. This is an interesting problem that Norway seems to have. It sounds like you guys have been debating this for a while. Anything else here today? Oh, grounded ship towed back to sea. Oh, this! I saw this! There was a shipping container. There was a ship in some guy's backyard in Norway, right? Yeah, it was grounded meters from a private home in Trondheim. It was successfully towed back to sea. Oh my God. Homeowner Johan Helberg was relieved when the ship was removed from his yard. Yeah, that's insane. It was okay to have greeted it, but now it's thank you, goodbye. Yeah, it seems to have a good sense of humor. I mean, what can you do when a giant ship lands in your backyard? It was going to Orkanger. Why did it end up in his backyard? Does it say? It narrowly avoided crashing into his bedroom after the one crew member fell asleep. The ship drove into this guy's backyard because the guy staffing the ship fell asleep. Oh my. Thank God no one was hurt. And we can all kind of laugh about this crazy situation. All right, they got that ship towed back to sea. This guy can have his backyard back. Oh my God. All right, and with that, that's the updates. That's what's been going on in Norway. It's always great for me to get up to date because I really never hear about Norwegian news. I don't know what's going on. So reading some of the news in the past month has been really helpful for me. Really interesting. A lot of stuff going on in Norway. So I enjoyed this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment, especially if there's any other Norwegian news that I should hear about. Or if you're Norwegian and you have thoughts on any of this news, that'd be really cool to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and learning about Norwegian culture and seeing Norwegian things I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.